This is looking out my back door. You know, in Iowa we do get snow, but it is not typical at all to get 9 or 10 inches in the middle of April. And so needless to say, not only are we staying in because of a virus, we're staying in because we can't get anywhere. This is walking out my backyard. You can see we've got, well, my pine trees. We line the property with pine trees and got a bunch of broken branches. I just got done shoveling. Yeah, I don't believe my daughter's gonna be outside playing. She's been really wanting to, and it probably just isn't gonna happen. Anyway, just gonna give you an idea how much snow we got. Hi, BookTube, Bill Ruttenberg here at the Ruttenberg Library. Come to you for a Friday Reads. I hope everybody's week has been good and everybody is healthy. Everybody's healthy in our house. It's been an interesting week with the weather. We had some really beautiful weather early in the week, and then well, last night or yesterday afternoon and into the very, very early morning hours, we got 9 inches of snow dumped on us. And so, you know, when you're sitting in mid-April and you get 9 inches of snow, that's the only positive I got out of it is, you know, not being in school. I would be coaching track at this point. We would have been right in the middle of track practices, and so since we're not at school, I don't have to sit in the cold weather with the kids out at the track, because I would really prefer to have warm weather for that. Anyway, the rest of the week's been good. I've been continuing to try to do the online stuff with the kids, and I've been getting a lot more responses this week. That's been great. My 8th grade class has been reading that Frederick Douglass book. We are on the last chapter, or no, excuse me, the second to last chapter, which is really long. And we'll be finishing that up at the very beginning of next week. I've been kind of taking it slow because at the same time as we're reading the chapters, I've been putting in some stuff to explore on the internet. So, you know, like when they talked about, you know, slaves not being able to defend themselves, even if they're innocent, or being able to speak in a court of law and stuff like that. Then I put some websites out to explore on, you know, slave codes and, you know, stuff like that, trying to, you know, bolster the unit and get the kids to do some exploring on their own. So anyway, that's been fun. I always enjoy reading that book, but I've almost got that done. This week I kind of dedicated myself the time that I had to read. I dedicated myself to The Impending Crisis, 1848 to 1861, and I made a big old dent in this. I'm about 70% of the way through it, and if I use all of my reading time wisely, it should be done by the end of this, by Sunday. And then next week I can put together a book review on that if anybody's interested in that. And so anyway, great book. I'm very glad that I went ahead and made the effort to pick it up and read it. If we were in regular schooling, I don't know that I would have done it this spring. But anyway, when I get done with that, what I plan on reading, and I picked it up again yesterday, I've kind of put it by the wayside, was Sidney Blumenthal's The Political Life of Abraham Lincoln, the self-made man, the first of his, I think there's going to be 4 or 5 books in the series, but the first book in that set of biographies that he's writing. Another one that I wanted to make a point of reading. But I picked that back up yesterday, read a couple pages in the afternoon before the rest of the family they got up from their nap. My 3-year-old got up from her nap, so I read until that point. And when I get done with The Impending Crisis, I believe that's what I'm going to be reading. And then, of course, I told you last week I got Stonewall Jackson sitting next to read. I did get a book, or not a book haul, magazine haul. Got my archaeology magazine in the mail, and got I believe that's Darius King Darius on there, and then if you was to see the rest of the painting, you'd see, I believe, Alexander the Great. Hopefully I got that right. I haven't looked in it yet. I just kind of sat it on my little table here. Wanted to introduce that, and I'll start reading through that soon. And then another book that I'm going to be getting in the mail at the end of the month is John Grisham's new book, and it is called Camino Winds, and that'll be April 28th. I did the pre-order on that. I got it real cheap on Amazon. Amazon always gets me kind of irritated. I found it for like 12 bucks a couple days back, and I was like, yes, that's cheap for a brand new hardback. And then the next day when I looked, I was going to have my wife, we were gonna buy that on Amazon, and it went back up to, I don't know, $17, $18, $19, something like that. So I got frustrated, and then the next day it dropped down to $11.50, and so yeah, we ended up buying it at $11.50. So I thought that was a decent deal, being a brand new book. But anyway, that has been my reading for this week. I've been engrossed in Civil War stuff, and I probably will continue that for a couple weeks before I move on to another topic, possibly Theodore Roosevelt, maybe in the near future. That's what I've been kind of thinking about. And then I also had the that Civil War book right there that I was possibly thinking about reading. So I don't know how you guys go, but being a teacher, I'm constantly trying to read, and so whatever I'm teaching in class is typically what I focus on in my personal readings, my personal studies. So that's my nonfiction reading. And my fiction reading that I'm going to pick back up is John Jakes' Savannah, A Gift for Mr. Lincoln. I have read this before, but it's been a long time, and I remember liking the book. I like pretty much all John Jakes, and so I was going to read that again, and possibly, of course, at the end of the month, I'll read my John Grisham novel. So anyway, this is my Friday reads. I hope everybody, like I said, I hope everybody's staying healthy, staying isolated, and just enjoying family time. That's what I've really been getting at. So BookTube, I hope you have a great weekend. Have a nice day.